This is the Adult Sports Situation Network, otherwise known as ASSN. I'm your host, 12, and the biggest question is, for the biggest rivalry in football, who do you think will win this game? How do you think it will unfold? Put it down here. If you think the Packers are going to smash on the Bears, put Packers. If you think the Bears are going to win, put Bears. And also drop your score. This is going to be a wild episode. Man, there's a lot of dysfunction and a lot of embarrassing things going on. Let's get it.
Here's your host, 12-inch.
So I'm your host, 12-inch, and I'm putting my foot down. This is the keys of the game and also my prediction for the oldest rivalry in football. We're talking about the Packers versus Bears. This is going to be a crazy one. Look, we're on our road to 1,000 subs. You can help us get there by hitting that subscribe button. Also, we got shirts to show your rivalry here at trashfans.store. And over here, this is where fans can talk trash, and it's trash talk season. So the Bears come into this game with a 4-5 record. Not looking good, because they had a 4-2 record and possibly could have been 6-0 if it wasn't for some of the coaching. And now we're looking at the situation where the OC's been fired, Shane Waldron, and they just now elevated from within their new OC. And as far as Thomas Brown, he's been around with a few teams, last formerly with the North Carolina Panthers with Bryce down there, and we'll see how he does here. I mean, I believe the Bears come out shooting from the hip because they got something to prove on the offensive side of the ball. And then on the defensive side of the ball, the Bears have been solid all year long, and they've been looking like one of the top units in the whole league. But top 5, top 6. But at this point, everybody's been looking quite disheveled. Even the defense is starting to look like it's beginning to tick down because of what's happening on the offensive side of the ball. But then again, that makes sense because you got to keep putting the defense out there. And if the defense is playing 60-70% of the game, eventually they do get tired. Whereas the offense, they haven't been clicking right. And we all seen what happened with the Hail Mary, with the goal line stance, handing it off to the offensive lineman to try to carry it in. He fumbles the ball. We saw what Shane Waldron was doing, and that wasn't like the first time we saw it. We've been seeing it pretty much throughout this whole season, and they had to make a change. But the funny part is Matt Nagy is the head of the whole situation, where a lot of people are calling for him, for that major change, for him to lose his job. And Matt Nagy has not been good at all whatsoever. The first year, you got to kind of throw out the window because it's a rebuild year. But now he's had 2 premier draft picks as quarterbacks, and the possibility of them being nurtured and being on a team that can actually get the best out of them wasn't with the Bears. And it looks like both quarterbacks are going basically through the same thing. Now, the Chicago Bears have a new young quarterback in Caleb Williams, who's outstanding. He has phenomenal gifts. You can see the talent that he has. It permeates out of him, from the scrambling ability to his accuracy within the midfield game, the close range. Downfield, he's been struggling a little bit, but that's always been a situation that he's been going through. But even with the talent that they have on offense, I mean, they got Cole Kmet. I mean, they got DJ Moore. I mean, this team here has what it needs on the offensive side. But the problem is they're not hustling. It doesn't look like they're hustling. It doesn't look like they're getting to these plays or they're getting open enough. Keenan Allen, it has been showing a little bit more lately. But the problem is maybe the plays and the way the messaging is coming across is mostly the problem. Sometimes it's not the player, but in this case, the player is going to have to pick up the coach because they have a new coach in Thomas Brown, and they got something to prove. And the last thing the Chicago Bears want to do is fall to 4-6. You don't want to do it. That's a slippery slope. 4-5 is bad enough. Starting off at 4-2, you got to even this thing up and show that NFC North that you guys are not something to play with, otherwise it's going to be embarrassing. And that's not what you want. So looking at Caleb Williams, so far he has 1,785 yards on the season, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's not a person to put the ball in harm's way, which is a great thing. The completion rate percentage right now he has is a 60.5%. Now here's where this is the major situation right now with the Bears. He has taken on 38 sacks and counting. That's ridiculous. That shouldn't be happening. The first thing that you do when you get a rookie quarterback like a Justin Fields or even a Caleb Williams is that you make sure that he's protected up front. Otherwise, an offense can't function. You know, they have Roma Dunze, who's an amazing prospect as far as a rookie is concerned at wide receiver, and everybody can function, and plays can actually unfold if you can protect Caleb Williams. But usually he's back there struggling and running for his life. Now, Williams has faced many challenges, like being sacked 9 times in the 19-3 embarrassing loss to the Patriots. And on the flip side of the coin, you got Jordan Love from the Green Bay Packers. He has 1,820 yards, 15 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions with a 61.2% completion rating. And also, he's shown a lot of promise, and he shows poise, and the Packers are sitting at a beautiful position at 6-3. However, the keys of the game, the offensive line, as I mentioned before, is a major situation that the Bears have to overcome and show and prove that with this new lineup that they have the tenacity to at least protect the kid back there for at least 4 seconds. Give him some time. I mean, one misconception of the stats is that he's holding on to the ball too long. Well, sometimes he is. That's part of being a rookie. But every quarterback does that because you're waiting for the play to unfold. And if play's not unfolding, yeah, you should get rid of the ball, but sometimes it may unfold. But a lot of the times with him, he's not just waiting for a play to unfold. He's running for his life. And he's creating other opportunities and being able to hit these short little passes by scrambling with his feet, because he is excellent in the scramble. Caleb Williams is special in that regard. He needs to improve his decision making and his accuracy, especially down the field. And Love, he should focus on minimizing interceptions, because he's been throwing quite a few interceptions as of lately, and capitalize on scoring opportunities when they're down there within the 20. On the defensive side of the Bears, they must improve on getting turnovers. They should be getting after the Packers' offensive line and going in and making sure that they make their presence felt. If the Bears impose their will on that offense with the defense, especially in the backside of the field, making sure everybody's covered, then the Packers are in for a long night. Not many teams are coming in and scoring many points off the Bears. It's hard to even get above 21 points this season. And that could even be a lower point output if the offense does actually provide some kind of boost and score some kind of touchdowns, because they haven't scored a touchdown in 2 games. I mean, this thing is ridiculous. The Packers, they have to aim to exploit the Bears' offensive line because it's full of patchwork. It's not looking that good. The offensive line has to be one of the worst in the league. And the last game, it was so embarrassing. It looked like as soon as the ball was snapped, nobody was blocking. They were just out there for no reason. So, I mean, it's all going to be about field position right now. And if the Bears can take advantage of their field position, which they've proven not to be able to the last couple games, starting with great field position, it's going to be a long day, guys. It's going to be a long day. And for the Packers, if they can take care of the field position and be able to score the way that they know is possible against the Bears, at least within range, it's gonna make a horrible situation for the Chicago Bears. And looking forward for the Bears in this situation to actually show their defensive prowess. And I'm looking at the Packers to actually show their offensive output. I really do believe that this is going to be a closer game than what a lot of people think. And the one last key note, can you guys guess in the last 25 games what the win-loss record is? The win-loss record is the Packers have 22 victories. The Bears have 3 in the last 25 games. If that's not an indictment on their head coach, I don't know what is. A change needs to come. I'm sure Ryan Poles is back there in the back office making sure that he's trying to figure out what he's going to do to solve this dysfunction and move this team forward this season and also next season. I have faith in Ryan Poles because he did put together what you need to win. The coaching situation might be a situation where his hands were tied. And you got to remember, I believe Matt Nagy, he's just about as good, but I believe Matt Eberflus had his final interview 2 days before they even hired Ryan Poles. So I think that they already knew which direction that they were going in with that head coach. Now, so to be honest with you, I'm believing that this is going to be a prediction where it's my gut versus my mind. And I'm going to go with my gut on this one. I believe the Bears have something to prove. They are going to actually do something. They're going to show flashes. You're going to see more stable offense, better offensive calling by Thomas Brown. And you're going to see like a renewed spirit, at least with the offensive weapon pieces. And it's going to be all about that front line. But I'm going to go. This is going to sound crazy, guys. I know it's not going to even sound right. But I'm going to go with the Bears 23 and the Packers 17.